Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Do you look to cut corners when supersizing and growing your business? That's our idiom today, to cut corners. I was going to make a snowflake or something fun, but I didn't want to think that hard about it. I was going to do paper dolls, but I'm like, I haven't made paper dolls since I was a kid, so I'm not sure I can pull that off. But we all have heard, at least I've heard this expression a lot, to cut corners. It's been around since the 1800s, and it originally came from rounding corners or cutting off time on a journey or a trip, taking a shorter route, going around something instead of following the straight lines in the corners. So if you think you're at an intersection, instead of stopping and going all the way to the stop sign and taking a right or a left, you would just cut through the field. In Texas, Texans used to do that all the time when I lived in Texas. They would, if there was traffic on the highway and they didn't want to wait, they would just dive off the road and drive through the shoulders with their trucks. It was something really interesting to see coming from Wisconsin, because in Wisconsin, most times of the year, you can't just cut off the highway and go around people. They also like to drive on the shoulders a lot there. So I don't know if they still do that. That was, 30, 40 years ago now. So this idiom suggests that finding ways to reduce expenses or take shortcuts, and I'm a fan of shortcuts and keeping things simple, but this idiom to me kind of implies chinsing away, doing something more cheaply to save money, and maybe selecting short-term options instead of considering the long-term implications of the things that we do and the decisions and the choices that we make. So like every other idiom, there's a positive side and a negative side to this particular expression. It's related to and implies that we're willing to make sacrifices, which is often a good thing. I think sacrifices are optional. If I'm making a choice among alternatives and I'm choosing and making a decision, to me, that's not a sacrifice. That is me exercising my personal power to do what's right for me at the time. A lot of people see that as sacrifice. I will let you in on a little secret. If you feel that you're struggling, hustling, and sacrificing to build and grow and supersize your business, guess what you're going to experience? Struggle, sacrifice, hassle, and hustling, because your intention is different than if you're like choosing, exercising your personal power, making decisions and choices that are right for you and your business. So love to know your experience with this particular idiom. I could share, I'm sure, thousands of stories from my personal experience where we've looked to save money, save expenses, find a quicker, faster, easier, more efficient, more effective way of doing something. But I don't consider that cutting corners. I call that continuous improvement. So to me, continuous improvement is different than cutting corners. Cutting corners feels short-term to me, and continuous improvement feels lifelong and long-term to me. So curious about your experience with this particular expression and idiom. Have you used it? Have you said it? I guarantee we've talked about it in every business I've ever been in, and I've said we're not going to cut corners here, or we are going to cut corners here. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions, tough choices, and choose among alternatives in the present moment. But we should always keep in the back of our mind, what's the long-term implications of that? We're seeing things still from the pandemic a couple of years ago, where some of the short-term choices and decisions people made are still biting them with respect to results. But we can always take a deep breath, stop, and reevaluate the situation and make a better choice for us. No decision is really ever permanent. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help in any way, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it to grow and build and supersize your business? Have a great day.